Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Infernal Shard 1 for the win. So today is going to be our first video that we are making on the PlayStation 5. Now, some of the features I've noticed about with the system is that it actually will let you record up to basically 4K resolution and everything like that. And I'm actually going to be talking about what are my personal thoughts about each of the new consoles that we have gotten. So for those of you that watch the unboxing video and all of that good stuff, both of these consoles really, in my personal opinion, are really incredible. Like everything about them, like they're just so incredible. It's like nothing you can personally ever think of. Um, but like I mentioned, this is going to be my first video that I'm recording off the PlayStation 5. So I personally don't know if it's recording at 1080p or 4K, and if it's 30 frames or 60. But Sony didn't say like how like what the frame rate was while pretty much recording and all that good stuff. I would assume it's probably at 30 frames, but who knows, it might be 60. But I won't tell until after the video is basically, finished and uploaded onto YouTube. But the one good thing, like I said, I really like about the PS5 is that it will let you record in 4K resolution, which I really thought that was I really personally thought that was really a, improved feature of the recording software that the PlayStation 5 has from the PlayStation 4. So, which I'm sure a lot of you probably are going to agree on that. But let's get to it anyway. So, we officially gotten the PS5 and we also have gotten the Xbox Series X. And both of these consoles are really great. There are some downsides and there are some ups with them, like pros and cons related. One of the pros is definitely going to be the main one, the graphical, technical side of things, where the graphics on games look a lot better, and we're actually going to be able to see a lot more 4K resolution on most games now, and just instead like of a few after the half of the generation went through and whatnot, like we did with the PS4 and Xbox One. And that's pretty much what the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X is basically considered as, is true 4K game consoles. Now, there are going to be some games like Demon Souls Remake that have got announced that are not going to be, playing in 4K and whatnot. They're only going to be playing at like 1440p or some sort. And it actually is a little bit of a downside if you really honestly think about it, because I mean we've even gotten games that can also play in like 4K, especially on the One X, and you can't even get like an old classic game from the PlayStation 3 generation to be running in 4K. And the other weird part about all this is that the developer on that game has actually said that the ray tracing costs them too much money, and it's kind of really ignorant if you really think about it, because ray tracing is one of the biggest features, if not the biggest feature, of out of the new systems that Microsoft and Sony has basically given hype for us to be hyped for. So it honestly is a little bit of a downside. The downside that I think about the consoles is, number one, the controllers are all right. I personally like the PS5 controller just a little bit more, but there are some, sketchies about the PS5 controller that I personally really do not like whatsoever. And that's the same thing with the Series X controller, but the Series X controller, I kind of do like it a little bit more than the irregular, like, Xbox One controllers. The controllers are like a mix of both sides, but they're one of the downsides I consider it as, because I have a MIDI wired Minecraft Xbox One wired controller for my Xbox One X, and it's really comfortable. It might be a tiny controller, but it's really comfortable. And the DualShock 4 controllers, also from the PS4, they are really, really comfortable as well. And those were probably the best controllers that I've ever, had that are so comfortable. So I personally hope that Sony actually, maybe sometime in the future, hopefully, lets us play with our PS4 controllers on PS5 games, but we can play PS5 uh, or PS4 is what I meant to say. We can play PS4 controllers on the PS5, but it would only be for the PS4 games. So if you want to play some of the new games that are for the PS5, like this game for an example, you will be able to download the PS4 version, which I think is another great thing about these new consoles is Sony has let you basically pick which version you want to play if you have the game on your PS4 and also on the PS5. And it lets you pick which version you want. So this game has that option. Call of Duty Cold War Black Ops, the new Call of Duty that just launched yesterday, also has the same option. And I think it's a really it's one of the other pros with the new systems is that you can basically install the last gen versions of the same game, which is kind of neat to do if you really honestly think about it. But that's one of the other pros about them is being able to install whichever version of the game that you personally really want. Um, Another downside that I personally think, actually, it's going to be with the Xbox Series X and not the PS5, is that the Xbox Series X still does not have the features to basically do like what we're doing right now with recording software. I mean, they got the same stuff that is in the Xbox One, right? But the bad thing is that it does not have the same, recording features as what the PlayStation 4 and the PS5 currently have. So, yeah, it just doesn't have the same features. Now, we're going to also, at the end of the video here in just a few more minutes, I'm going to also tell you guys on my take on which console that I personally think is the best console out of the three, or out of the two. Well, yeah, technically out of the three, because if you count the Series S, because it's a completely different specs and hardware of the same new console and whatnot. But the two is what I meant to say, because we only got the PS5 and the Series X. But yeah, pretty much. I'm actually having really good luck with both of my Series X and PS5. They're working perfectly. I've not had no issues, and I've seen that there's people having issues to where their console will literally just like turn off, or it, will crash their game or something like that, and all that good stuff. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to not have the issues whatsoever, because there's possibly a chance that I could possibly today or possibly tomorrow. It's just what you got to look forward to when you get a new generation console, especially around its launch day. But it's usually like that with any console that you really, really get, even if it's in the future when they've fixed the problems. There's always going to be possibly a defect because one system could be not like the other and someone could have messed up while building it. But as I mentioned, so far right now, I am personally having really good luck with my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X, and so far everything is working. But yeah, the one of the big features also, like I touted, was like I said, the PS5 now lets you be able to record up to basically 4K resolution on a video that you can basically make. Now, there is a downside to this, but I don't really consider it that much of a downside at all. One of the big things with the PS5 when it comes to the broadcasting and the live streaming and whatnot that the PS4 has, it still only lets you, it only does 1080p if you really want to broadcast, like live stream your game. And I think that is a little bit of a downside, especially when you can basically just record your game clips at 4K. It gives you the option to let you do 4K or 1080p. So if you are a PS5 owner and you want to basically record your game clips at 4K, just so you can have 4K videos on your YouTube channel or whatnot, As soon as you first get the PS5, you are going to want to go to the settings and you're going to want to change it because it's going to have it set to 1080p as default, but it'll let you change to basically 4K and all that good stuff. Um, yeah. So what console do I personally think is the best out of both of these new consoles? Well, personally, I think what I'm going to have to go with is the Sony PlayStation 5 that we're basically playing off of right now. The reason why I think that this console is the best is because, well, even though I like both controllers, they're okay and they're not as comfortable as, like I was saying, the DualShock 4 and the mini Minecraft wired controller that I have for the Xbox One. Even though the controllers are not that comfortable, I still think that the PS5's controller is a little bit more better when it comes to gaming. The one bad thing that I don't like about it is the heavy it's the heavy feel of the controller, how it feels just a tiny bit more heavier, and I don't like the handles whatnot a whole lot because I just don't like the feel where the white is like a little bit up when you go from the black. Like, it just doesn't feel like a completely smooth, controller like the DualShock 4 did. But it's an okay controller, I will say, and yeah, so the PlayStation 5, also with the recording features it has, and also the new dashboard layout and all that good stuff, and also the console design, is what I like the most. I think the PS5 is probably my favorite console when it comes to the newer generation of consoles, is what I personally think. So I personally go with the PS5 because that's the console I think is the best. Now, I'm not ditching out on the Series X either because the Series X is a phenomenal console, especially being the most powerful out of the next gen consoles. But Microsoft just really did not do like that much different. All they did was basically just copied from the Xbox One and just put it on there. They basically didn't even do really that much work in the first place. But at the same time, the X Series X is going to be a really great console. Like I said, it's really, really powerful. And I got friends that, I could play on there. And one of the good things about the Series X with being the same Xbox One dashboard is I can basically still talk to my friends in a party chat that still have an Xbox One. And it's the same thing also with the PlayStation 5. You can still basically party chat with your friends on a PS4. So both of these consoles making it to where you could keep in contact with your friends and whatnot that still only have last gen consoles, that it's really a good step forward if you really ask me. But like I said in the beginning part of the video, this is our first video that we are recording off of the PS5. So we were basically testing this out and also making a video at the same time. Now, like I said, I don't know if with me having the game set to 4K as recording, I don't know, like I said, if it's recording at 4K at 30 frames a second or if it's recording at 60 frames a second, but we'll find out once we get the video pretty much uploaded here in a little bit. But yeah, that pretty much does the video for the day. The PlayStation 5 is probably the console I probably am going to play and like the most out of the next generation consoles. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section down below if you got both of the next gen consoles. And if you've already played both of them, you let me know in the comment section down below of which console do you basically like the most and prefer. Me, like I've said multiple times, I prefer the PS5 more just because of the controller, the features it has, and the new dashboard. And also, I'm going to have to say the games too. But yeah, so just comment down in the comment section down below of what console that you like the most after playing both of them and getting experience in them. And subscribe for those of you that are new to the channel, and we will be sure to keep you guys posted with more videos in the future and also more PlayStation 5 videos also in the future. So just send me down in the comment section down below of your thoughts, and hit a like if you enjoy the video, and subscribe for those of you that are new. And we will be sure to keep you guys posted and catch you guys on the next video. So, peace out. This is Infernal Shard 1 for the win. Peace out, everyone.